record. And then we pause this. See you in a minute there, Discorders. Or no, Patreons. Yeah. Patrons, I mean. Save. TMS2. Okay.
Yeah.
Recording has begun. Yeah. And we started in 3, 2, 1.
This is the morning stream, but it's not in the morning, it's at night.
Oh.
TMS. PM.
Whoops, the music stopped. All right. Hey, what's going on, everybody? How's it going?
We're going to get the whole thing over again?
No, I'm not. I'm doing it like that and leaving it because we don't edit. Good. No editing here on the show. Well, sometimes. No. I might in post I could go fix that little tweak, but it's nothing serious. I swear my mic is louder than usual. Do I sound louder to you than usual or the same?
You sound exactly the same as me. You sound exactly the same as you have before.
All right. And I'm showing output the same as always. I don't know why, for some reason, in my head, it's so much louder today. I don't know why. That's okay. Maybe my hearing improved. I don't know. It's possible. We had hail the size of marbles today. Tons of it. Just coming down out of nowhere. Yesterday was almost 90 degrees. So explain to me how suddenly we have hail and it's like 40 degrees out, but whatever. That's happening.
Hail isn't necessarily cold weather down below. Hail just means cold weather and winds up above because it's precipitation where the wind is blowing the water back up to the cold and then back up to the cold and, basically in this cycle until it's heavy enough that it just drops.
You're some kind of weather person. How do you know this? That's really impressive.
I mean, I think I'm probably like paraphrasing or not paraphrasing. I'm probably getting some details kind of wrong, but it's it just means that your cold weather is way up high where the wind is.
And that can start hail, can create hail.
That creates hail.
All right.
So there's precipitation, but the wind blows the water, the water droplets back up into the cold weather where it freezes. It gathers more precipitation and just kind of cycles until it gets so heavier than the wind, and then drops. So
got it.
When you get the bigger the golf balls, the bigger the hail, like golf ball size hail, the bigger the balls, the stronger the wind is. The wind currents are that are pulling it back into.
Because that's what makes them round. Then they're kind of being spun in the air and added to.
Well, that's what makes them large. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they only got about as big as a marble, and it came down crazy, and the lightning was so nuts, and the sky was just pure white, and cars were leaving tracks in the hail, like it was insane. And then the power went out for a minute, and I went, "Oh no, power! We need that to make a show later." But it was early enough that it was fine. Everything's fine. We're here now. Full internet, nice, full everything. Good. Everything's fine. Yeah. In fact, it's all melted. It's melted already. The streets act like there was nothing wrong. It's just we're back to normal. So for now, the apocalypse averted. Hey, Brian, I got a Popeyes update. Would you like to hear it?
Yes. Give me the Popeyes update, please.
All right. We heard from a listener named Nick Williams, a.k.a. Captain Monk, in the chat. He says this. He says, "Hello, Scott and Brian. During the new KFC monstrosity discussion you just had, the idea that Popeyes might be artificially causing a shortage of their now infamous chicken sandwich came up, which you and Brian dismissed. Now, sure, this came up as the issue may be a lot easier and less sinister than that. One thing I'm not sure has been brought up is the issue is most likely due to availability of supply, specifically supply that can't meet the specifications Popeyes requires for their new sandwich, as ridiculous as that sounds." He wrote that, not me. There was a really good post from a fast food consultant that goes like this. And then, I got to find that image. Crap, I didn't copy over. Hold on. I thought I copied over, and it didn't. It just says image.png.
Well, that's right, because we did cover, some of this came after when we got that letter from the Popeyes employee about how it's not necessarily that they're out of the whole sandwich, that they're out of chicken. They're just out of like specific things that they can't just go to the store and get because it wouldn't be vetted. It wouldn't be Popeyes quality.
Correct. And I think this kind of supports that. So here's the note that this fast food consultant wrote, which is quite the job, it sounds like. It says, "It comes down to the specifications of a certain product. Restaurant chains, particularly fast food enterprises, don't head to the big conglomerates such as Tyson and buy up massive chicken breasts. Their products are often made for quick turnaround and includes breading, seasoning, and specific sizes that require additional processing. So it's possible that that's what it is. They may have a higher standard than others. They don't want to change supply chains, because if they change supply chains, then they just got to change them back when everything catches up. So I guess it's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. Well, I mean, what else could it be? You're not going to get your spicy Popeyes chicken sandwich until they're darn well ready to give it to you. And I'm very pleased that today, so far, we're 6 minutes into the show, and we've talked about big balls and massive breasts. Both of those things have come up.
Well,
so
what's left? What do we have left? We got to talk about I don't know, maybe we don't want to. Maybe we don't want that.
Maybe we don't want to. Maybe it's best we don't answer that question.
All right, instead I'll show you this cool thing I got in the mail today.
Yeah.
Look at this. Oh, it's all weird in the green screen. To you, it's normal.
You got you wouldn't think that the yellow would be affected by the green screen. That is super cool. Look at that.
Weird?
Pull those, take those Joy-Cons off. Let me see how it works.
I can't do that because they don't.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, well, go plug it into your TV. Let me see how that works.
Let's see. Right now that's just not working. It's not a thing. It doesn't doesn't do that.
I guess we need to tell the audio listeners. Scott is holding up a Switch Lite.
Yeah, I got a Switch Lite
Nintendo
today.
Switch Lite.
I did. I picked that up for business
and I'm
reasons.
giving you crap because I'm jealous and I want one of those. Though I know there's absolutely zero reason I would need one of those because I have a Switch and all the Switch things I do on the Switch.
Well, and my reasoning was purely business, of course. 100% business.
Oh, sure.
Zero reason I would personally care at all. Obviously, this is just a business choice.
Yeah.
I also picked up The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening, which is probably my favorite Zelda game, even though it came out on the Game Boy like 100 years ago. Sure. And they redid it, and it's super cool on here. But anyway, I'm just happy to report that it feels really good in your hand. It's a
little speedier, right? Doesn't this use a better chip than the very first
It
Nintendo
uses
Switch,
so they're the same capability of chip. They're just smaller, which is why you have the longer battery life. The battery life is longer.
That's what it is. That's the improvement, is the battery life.
And it's also smaller slightly. It's also lighter, definitely lighter than my other one over there. And it has an actual D-pad on there, which is good. Right there, see?
Cool. Very cool.
For that sort of thing, because the controllers don't come apart. No need to make those little dots or whatever. I don't have any complaints. The only complaint I have is the cloud save move over thing was a little obtuse, but that's just Nintendo. They're bad at online things. So I figured it out, and then it quickly transferred my cloud stuff from that thing to here once I figured out how to do it. And this Zelda's awesome, and that's all I've had so far. And I did a little unboxing for YouTube if people want to go watch it. But
you did an unboxing video.
Yeah, it was a short one. It's like 2 minutes. It's actually the most non-eventful unboxing in the history of mankind. Because I thought it would at least have like plastic I had to cut into or weird things to undo. It was none of that. It's just, it pops right open. Oh, here it is, and I'm done.
It's almost like an Apple iPhone where the unboxing is like, we'll take the plastic off. Oh, they give us this nice little pull tab to separate the two halves of the box.
Yeah.
Pulled apart the phone's right there.
Yeah, it's obnoxious how that all went down. But anyway, long and the short, it's cool so far. I mean, it's neat. Cool. I probably will end up doing the hand-me-down to Carter on my old one. Unless she wants a light. Are you getting a light? You don't know? You were talking about it.
I did talk about it.
Yeah, you did talk about it. But you're not talking about it now, are you? All right, well, we'll see.
I'd love to script and produce a web series of unboxing videos completely planned where the guy accidentally breaks everything that he gets out of the box. So the Nintendo Switch, obviously would have it fall on the floor and shatter as he's trying to pull it out of the box, kind of like that the iPhone video that always circulates around whenever a new iPhone comes out. But have him trying to pull the cable out for the charging cable, and it breaks from the brick or tears away from the brick or something like that.
Well, people do that.
There's already got to be a YouTube guy doing that.
Somebody's got to be.
You mean
doing
like
that.
what, on purpose? You mean, or you mean?
No. That's well, I don't know if anyone's doing it to collect them, but I know people have definitely filmed themselves and accidentally done crap like that. Like I almost dropped this while I was doing my thing. I almost dropped it on the floor.
Did you?
Yeah, and I went, oh my gosh, what am I doing? That's ridiculous.
See, that's what I'm saying. I think it would be great just to plan on doing those. Like basically, specifically, all right, let's take a look at the brand new PS4 Pro PlayStation. We're going to take it out. Oh, crap. All right. Well, let me see. Okay, well, this panel should be attached. It was attached when I opened the box, and
Right.
you basically have a series where it's always that.
I mean, I would watch that and I would laugh at it. So
Yeah.
if you do it, you let me know.
Okay.
And I'm going to check that out. Now,
I never will because I have no time for that.
someone can take Brian's idea and do it. We had somebody yesterday take my stupid video game yelling and make a video out of it. So why not?
So great.
It was pretty great. It was really
that.
great.
I don't know. I can't think of the last time I was laughing so hard the tears were coming out of my eyes. But tears were coming out of my eyes. I was laughing so hard.
That guy literally got a skier who took such a fall that he was doing that the hand over foot kind of spread eagle thing.
Like a cartwell kind of thing.
And
Yes.
at one point he's in an X shape and he plays the line where I say X gonna give it to you while he's flying like that.
Right. And it's preceded by lo. It's rotating to- Oh.
It's pretty good. But anyway, so this last thing I was thinking about the Switch, just there seems to be some confusion in the chat room. If you want the one that plugs into your TV and has the Joy-Cons that come off and all that stuff, still a thing. They still sell it. It will continue to be a SKU. They haven't discontinued it or anything. That's just a $300 option. Or you can get the $199 option, which is this one, which is a bunch of colors, no unhooking the Joy-Cons, which I never did anyway. I use mine as a portable machine all the time, so this is kind of like a no-brainer
And you
for
can
me.
still use that with a Pro controller, right?
Oh yeah, totally. If I wanted to, sure. Yeah.
So, I mean,
it
you
still syncs to, Bluetooth stuff and all that. Like that doesn't change. But the one thing I think is true, the one part I do think would be cool, is if you had a Pro controller and just a little cable dongle, let me HDMI that up to a TV. No big deal. I don't need a dock. Just let me do that, and then I'll use my Pro controller, which I have, and just play it like that on a TV. Why they didn't allow that, I don't know. Or maybe they have and just no one's made a dongle yet. I don't know. Because it's just USB-C down there. It's just a USB-C connector.
Same USB-C.
Yeah.
Have you tried putting it into your the dock for your regular one and seeing what happens?
No. I wonder what would happen.
Brian talks Scott into breaking his brand new Switch Lite.
Now we know why Brian. Now he's just trying to get early content for his hot new YouTube channel. He's thinking of.
I know, exactly.
Hold on a second. Do that?
I'm sure somebody's tried it.
Let me hover over it.
Report it online if
Let me see here.
if it works.
No,
I mean,
it won't slide down because the controller stuff's in the way now.
oh really?
Yeah, but you know
Too
what? In
thick?
theory, though, how about this? I have a USB-C to HDMI output that I've used with other devices. I wonder if I plugged that in here if it would do anything.
Well,
It shouldn't
depends on
hurt
if
it.
that's just charging only or if there's any sort of connectivity.
Well, I mean, USB-C by its nature can carry tons of stuff, as it does with the regular Switch. The question is, did Nintendo remove that capability or not? And I don't know.
Exactly. Right.
It'll bum me out if they did. Anyway, it's cool. I like it.
Yeah.
I recommend it. It's neat.
Very cool.
Especially if you never had one in the first place. I had a lot of friends who were waiting around for a revision, and I think this is a great revision. It's very cool. But especially if you're like me and you just did portable with the thing, this is a no-brainer. Like, I don't care about the TV part, to be honest. I really don't. I'm more of a portable gamer when it comes to this thing, so I'm all good.
The only thing that pulls me to TV is that new Marvel Ultimate Alliance game, because that is just too small to play handheld. There's so many little things going on that you want big screen for that.
That's a good point.
And,
Yep.
Yeah.
Games like that, especially when they're not, how do I put this? When the UI elements aren't made for the handheld, they assume people will be it on TV. Then what you end up with is a lot of really tiny text and stuff like that. It's like phones. Same with phones. Phones do this all the time. It drives me crazy. Like if you're gonna have a game on a phone, give me something I can freaking read. And it's not just because I'm old. I mean, the text is like 1.2 point size. Freaking
Right.
Who does that?
You don't have to break out the readers to play a game.
Exactly. Anyway, I like it. It's neat, and more on that as time goes on. All right. Dan's not here today, so what does that mean? Well, it means this. Hold on. Where is it? There. I haven't played this in a while, so let's play it now.
App Slappy.
That's right. Time for App Slappy, a segment on the show where we talk about apps that we like. And here we are doing it in the shadow of the now released iOS 13, which came with Apple Arcade. Now, Brian was, I think you were technically on the beta anyway, right? Didn't you have it early?
Yeah, I didn't have access to Apple Arcade until 3 days ago. Like, basically, they only opened it up 1 day earlier for beta than they did for everyone else.
Interesting. And my understanding was that when they did that and the beta people got it first, there were games included, or no, I'm sorry, there have been a bunch of games added since, so it wasn't the full release.
Sure.
It was missing a bunch of stuff. So anyway, I went ahead and subscribed to this thing. I assume you did too. It's cheap. It's dumb cheap.
And it's free for the first month anyway, so
yeah,
why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you? If you're at all in any of the iOS world, and that includes an Apple TV, if that's all you have, this is good for you. If you have a phone, you have an iPad, if you have a Mac, those are all going to play it as well. Somebody told me, was it they had a Linux port coming? No, that can't be right. Somebody told me something earlier today that I need to fact check this thing, but it seemed like they were going to try to make it maybe even a PC front end. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Point is, I've been skeptical because in my head, the thinking was, all right, those guys basically invented the App Store ecosystem, and the App Store ecosystem originally, as designed, made it so if you had a free thing to give away to people, great, you had a free game. And if you had a paid game, cool, you could charge a couple of bucks and people would buy it and they'd love it or hate it or whatever. And that was the App Store.
Right.
But as time went on, free to play and the mechanics therein started to crop up between, say, 2009 and 2013. Maybe it's when it was full bore by 13, I think. And it seemed like every game from then on and forward, if it was a premium game with just a video game in there and none of this other hooky stuff, it would just get lost. Brian and I felt like we were doing like the service here because we would play games that cost us $1 and we would go, look at this, and no one would hear about it.
It's worth paying for because, you don't get the reminders and the notifications.
Yeah. So having that change so much and having paid for games kind of get completely smothered by free-to-play titles, Apple had this idea. And others are working on it too. There's some Google Play thing coming, and I think even Steam should do something like this. Like, it's super dumb not to do some kind of subscription like this on whatever platform you have. But anyway, they're kind of the first out of the gate. And for $5 a month, $4.99 a month, plus, like you said, that free month, you get a pretty large stable to launch with, plus more coming. Apparently, new ones every week.
I'm impressed with how much is in there. It's almost a bummer how much stuff there is in there.
It's almost too many, right?
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Because you're like, when am I going to do all this?
Right. If it was like 12 games, it'd be like, all right, there's 8 in here I want to try out. They're all free to download. Let me get those 8, try them out. But now it's like, oh my God, there's like 25 in here that I want to
It's a huge list of games, and they are pretty impressive in terms of who they got to make this first wave of games. These are developers you've heard about who've made a lot of games you love in the past. None of these have free-to-play elements at all. None of these have energy that wears out and you got to go away for a while or pay me $1. Like, all of that's gone. These are just game-ass games, and that's their deal, right? So there will never be a freemium game in Apple Arcade. Correct.
They say, basically, nope. Technically, we're paying the freemium for you.
Yeah, and if you want your freemium games, there's a trillion of them. Go get them. They're still in the store.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not going anywhere. They're going to keep being where they're at. But this new tab is all about, here is a select, number of games that are being updated all the time, and you're going to get new ones all the time, and the old ones stay, and they are always going to be available to you to play, and they are never going to have free-to-play or DLC or any of that stuff. There's no such thing as it can have DLC, but they're not charging you for it. It's just, that game has an expansion and it's now part of the update, so now I'm going to go play more of that. And they got real developers making real games, and as it turned, and this stuff syncs with your PS4 controller, which I've done. It syncs with 360 Xbox One controller, which I have not done, but it does it just as easily, I'm sure. So you need to pair that. You'd be surprised, like that Oceanhorn 2 game that looks basically, it's another Zelda ripoff, basically. Yeah. But that first Oceanhorn was really good, but it's definitely like Zelda inspired. But that second one, beautiful game, runs great with a controller. No problems, no issues. In fact, the developers they have to provide at least 2 forms of control, like One would assume keyboard eventually too, because it's coming to the Mac. But you would need at the very least touch, and then secondarily a controller scheme. And everything I've played is used controller or touch, or it's meant only for touch, and those are obvious. But those will probably need mouse and keyboard at some point. Anyway,
Sure.
it's a lot of work, and I'm a little surprised they're doing it. But it's impressive. It's super impressive. And I'm not just saying that because I'm all in on the ecosystem. I was very skeptical of this, but as it turns out, it was kind of nice being reminded, oh yeah, you can make a full game experience without nickel and diamond me. You know? Or you can make a game that isn't disrupted by its own monetization system. You can make a game that's just
Exactly.
like, let me play it. Don't give me 8 currencies and then tell me the best value is $99. Like, come on. Like, don't do that to
Right.
me. And that's what these are. So for me, it's this breath of fresh air in the mobile space that you and I were all kind of mining already anyway. You and I were the ones that were going,
We were.
does that one cost? Okay, I'm going to try that because that's probably not full of shit.
$4.99. Sure, I'll give this one a try. Or
Right.
I think the most I spend on a game in the App Store, maybe $9.99. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, sounds like it. I mean, there's been others that have, some Final Fantasy stuff reached as high as like 17 or 19. or
Oh,
something like
sure.
that.
Yeah.
But
14 or
still
something,
pretty
yeah.
rare. But and that's the other thing. Like these all remind me of games that would normally cost you $5 to $9.99 on mobile if they were to release straight there. But instead, you're getting all that stuff for this fee, this $5 fee. To some who never play, they're going to be playing people who just don't need this, and that's great. Happy for them.
Sure.
I am already impressed. So I thought what we'd do today is just focus on the ones that the one that we pick out of our list that we played. I think you've only really played one, right?
I've only played one, so that's going to make it a very easy choice for me.
Right. I've probably put a little time in about 9 of them last night just to kind of get my feet wet and understand what was going on in there. And I came away with some favorites for sure, but I'll talk about the one I've spent
good.
the most time in. So we'll do that.
Okay. Cool.
So I'll start with
Yeah.
a little game called Spaceland.
Ah.
And honestly, it's not a high profile one in there. Like there's getting a lot of talk and praise, and I think Overland's one. Cards Will Fall is another one that people are loving. There's this racing game. I actually played it where you're like a spy in the 60s and you got to like blow up cars and do missions, and it's actually very good, very arcadey, very fun with a controller too. Anyway, some really cool games in there, but for whatever reason, my time just got sucked up with this Spaceland game. And basically what it is a top-down, three-quarter view, turn-based strategy game. Think of like XCOM or something like that. And what makes this fun and unique for me is most of the iOS or mobile versions of those kinds of games are almost always freemium games with a bunch of hoo-ha that I got to jump through to have them be any fun. And an example of the gameplay type would be like your Marvel's Ultimate, not Ultimate Alliance, the phone one. What's that called? Marvel's.
Oh, the Strike Force?
Is it Marvel Strike Force? Is that what it's called? It's turn-based. You can automate it, but you take turns.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes, the turn-based one, yes.
So the turn-based combat is very common these days, but it goes way back to some old 90s stuff, XCOM in particular. So
what was that one? The DS one, Advance Wars.
Oh,
was my
Advance Wars. There you
favorite
go.
of those.
Advance Wars was great,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Oh, that was so good.
Yeah, fantastic.
So this is like that, but it's just super refreshing because everything is about the story, about the mechanics, and about the next level. None of it ever says, want to watch an ad and get double the gold? Like, I don't have to do any of that. That stuff's gone. And so it's hard for me not to fawn on that because I love that. But the game itself is really cool. One thing that struck me about this initial lineup is they're all beautiful. These chips are capable of a lot, and they look really good.
I'm looking at Spaceland right now, and this is the kind of I'm so tired of the 8-bit blocky, pixelated characters.
Mm-hmm.
I want something that looks like I'm controlling a little digital toy that's running around. Like it doesn't have to be realistic face, flesh moving on skin when they're talking kind of stuff. These little, having a little blocky dude running around, little toy looking dude.
Yeah, it's
looks like it's rendered.
It's pretty cool how good this one looks and achieves what you're talking about, but also in some ways feels like a throwback, like it's a game that was structurally it feels like a game that's got a kind of a timeless appeal, but you're right about it graphically. But anyway, I really, really like it, and it's got great strategy. It's got a fairly straightforward approach to the combat. You kind of intuit a lot of things. There's a lot of puzzles that happen, like a big armored guy's coming at you, and the only way you can hurt him is if you get him from the rear, because the armor's in the front and his back is exposed. So you got to think about, well, all right, if I move him behind him, I need him not to get killed, and also he's out of ammo, so he needs to get to the ammo crate, load up on ammo, get back out there, have these other two guys hide. There's all that thinking involved with the strategy itself, which is what you should expect from a game like this.
For sure.
And it's just completely hooked me. It's really good and compelling, and I think the story's good, and the characters are creative and interesting, and I got sucked in hard last night. I just could not stop playing it. It was really, really, really good. So,
did you mention Operator 41 as one of the ones you grabbed? Had you grabbed that one yet?
It's downloaded. Haven't tried it yet though.
Yeah, I'm looking at the animation or the sales pitch, the attract mode for those arcade lovers back in the day, and this looks gorgeous as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch on here. Just if you're looking for visual fidelity, there's tons of really nice looking games. I'm really impressed. They must have really just pushed for this initial batch needs to be really high quality and really show off the services. Not just these are more mobile games, but these are a cream of the crop, above the notch sort of mobile experiences. And I think it's just going to be good for that sub industry in general, because mobile games don't have a great reputation for player facing quality. Like you feel like you're getting ripped off a lot, and you feel like there's unfair practices happening and all those things, and I don't feel that way when I'm playing these. I feel like that price is not only fair, I think it's kind of ridiculous low. I don't know how these guys are all making. I mean, I guess the theory is if Apple sells millions and millions of subscriptions, then
right, then the developers get,
then everybody gets their money. Sure.
Yeah, right.
And if you're exclusive,
it's in their best interest to make sure that they're putting out quality content, that it's from the best developers, and that they're basically giving people something that entices them to spend that $4.99, because otherwise it's a bad cycle.
Yeah, it's a real bad cycle. And so far, well done, because I'm impressed with not just the games, but just the whole execution. And now the fun will be watching to see if they can keep that up. What's the pace of this? What's the cadence of release? How often do we see new titles? If this is any indication, everyone's going to be super busy playing these just for the next month. Like there's plenty here to play.
Totally.
It is not on iPad yet, and that's the only big frustration I've had this week, because they are releasing iPad OS, which is it's now called. That was supposed to happen yesterday all at the same time. It didn't, so now that's coming out on the 30th.
I've got it on iPad. Okay, so it's probably because of the beta.
Yeah, you still have the beta. And it may play on there. I don't know. It might actually play on there if you're using the latest beta. But if you don't have the beta, you're just waiting for full release, then that thing's not till the 30th. And I usually wait for full releases on stuff, but I'm sort of tempted now just to grab it because I want to see what it looks like on the bigger screen. So anyway.
Well, it's like you could wait.
It's 10
Tuesday.
days.
Yeah, you could wait till Tuesday.
Well, it's 10 days, right? Isn't it? What's today? 20th?
PGH first says Tuesday now. They moved it up.
Oh, the 24th. That's not bad.
Yep. No.
Oh, all right. Well, I can wait till Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like till Tuesday. They made
you don't want to go through the stupid except Voices Carry.
Yeah.
You've got the whole rigmarole of the all right, get on the beta. Now I've got to get back to the regular version and all that.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's just
sometimes that's easy.
It's really just fun to sit down and play a game that is aimed at my core gaming likes. Like this is just saying, hey, do you like strategy games? Do you like good strategy? Is that all you really want to focus on? Yes. I don't want to deal with your freaking microtransactions or all your other bullshit. I think it interferes with good game design to have to worry about those things. So they don't have to worry about that here, and I hope it works out where everybody makes a ton of money. And if you do, I guess if the developers do their games exclusive to your platform, and there are a bunch of those like that, then they get more money. So they actually get more of the cut if they stay exclusive with Arcade and not take it to Android or something else. There are some on there though that are on Steam and other places, and they get less of a cut, but that's because they're on other platforms. It makes sense.
Right. If they're exclusive, yeah, they get a better deal.
Anyway,
Just realized there's a Choo Choo Rocket on here now.
There is. I downloaded that too. I haven't tried it yet. It looks real different than your normal Choo Choo.
It does. Yeah, 3D. Yeah.
I can't tell.
Wow.
I'll try it though.
Yeah.
Tell me about this Frogger deal. Is it any good?
Yeah, so I picked up Frogger. It is number one, it is gorgeous. It is a very beautifully rendered Frogger game. Still the same overall premise. Move your frog up, right, or up, down, left, right to get from the bottom of the level to the top of the level. But with this one, you've got obviously more options for obstacles, not just cars and logs and alligators that submerge and things like that. It takes place in a house where the kid has got his toys all over the place, and so you've kind of got to meander around blocks and baseballs and toy cars going down a track, things like that. There's some things I like about it. There's some things I don't like about it. I do like just kind of the play it right away ability of it, right? Like, want to do a level? Great, knock out a level really quick. Right. And you pick up little baby frogs along the way to kind of complete the level. They give you tasks, basically say, get through this level, don't get hit by a car, finish the level with 3 baby frogs and 18 power pellets or something. What I don't like is that you may see a way, like, oh, there's a ball up there that I can probably grab and push to knock over a set of blocks to get that baby frog.
Yeah.
And it doesn't allow you, once your screen has moved down, it doesn't move back up. So you can't back up and deal with an area that you've already passed. You're always ever forward, never back.
Right.
Which is a little frustrating.
Oh,
because
right,
it
is
to go
scrolling,
back
right? Like slowly,
Yeah.
but you are absolutely scrolling, it looks like.
Yep, exactly. And
Watching
you
video.
can stop and it'll stop scrolling,
Right.
but it won't, you can't then go back down to pick up something you may have missed or figure out a different way to get to. It's what can you say? It's a Frogger game. It's exactly what you expect, except it's just rendered to the hilt as far as gorgeous graphics and sound and all that. It's for free. Very pleased with it. I wouldn't have paid more than, I don't know, $1.99, $2.99 for this otherwise, but as a game, and I can't call it free, as a game that I got with my $4.99 a month subscription, totally worth it and worth downloading and
it's
playing.
one of the bigger names of the launch
Showcase titles.
It's Konami. It's they don't make a lot of games anymore, but Q Games is actually the team that made it, and you may know them from Lumines. Remember Lumines?
Oh, I love Lumines.
Yeah, that's them.
That's a game that I had that on the PS.
Vita?
What was that thing called? PSP.
Oh, PSP. Yeah.
Then I bought it for the Vita.
Right.
And then I bought it again for the Switch.
Yeah, I think I did too. I think I have it on my phone too. I think.
I think I might have it on my phone too. Yeah.
It's kind of embarrassing. That would have been a cool game to include in this if they, beefed it up or whatever. But
yeah.
And
I use the control scheme. It's funny. I've got the iPad keyboard thing, right? The disconnectable keyboard.
Oh, yeah.
And I use that as the control thing with ASDW to move my frog around, which.
Oh, then you are
for whatever
running
reason
arcade
feels-
in the beta. Then it is working for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I didn't know if it was going to work in that iPad beta.
Totally is.
I'll still wait till Tuesday. I'm just saying.
Wait till Tuesday.
Till Tuesday.
Hush. Keep it down now. Wait till Tuesday.
Anyways, it's cool, and I recommend it. I played a whole bunch of others.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about those yet because it'll take us all day. But maybe next week I've burned through something, then I can talk about it more. It's neat.
Yeah,
though.
there are a couple there. I mean, there's the next one I want to pick up. I like puzzle games, and there are some just gorgeous looking puzzle games in this thing too.
Yeah, they have a match 3 style game in there. Remember when those weren't free to play and and you didn't hate them as a result? Like Candy Crush ruined it.
Exactly. I mean, freemium really killed the match 3 games.
Yeah, like it really did, and I think it still kills it. And so I downloaded one of these games. I forgot the name of it, and again, I probably should just wait until next week to talk about it. But it's this. Oh, here it is, Grindstone, and it's this really funnily animated I don't know what style to even call the animation, but it's really weird. But anyway, it's one of those games, and you're actually just playing it. You're not. There's nothing holding you back. There's no booster stuff to buy. You just play.
Oh no, you've died 3 times. You can either wait 20 minutes to get one more life, or you can spend some money
That's
for
right.
99 cents.
That's right.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is it's bloody too. It's got this great
Oh, look at that. Yeah.
It's a cool little game.
Like
You
you're
should get it.
chopping people up into little bloody
Yep.
Jello cubes.
Yep, and it's perfect for touchscreen. That's the other thing I like is the touchscreen games make sense that they're still touchscreen. The ones that use controllers best are represented well. By the way, when you do sync up a PS4 controller, it's super easy. Just do it in your settings. Your phone just recognizes it now. But the games themselves will switch to showing like tutorial information or button prompts on screen will now just be like the X, the circle, the square, the triangle, like as if it was a Sony game, which is kind of crazy in its own right. So anyway, It's very cool. People should check it out. I think it's worth it. Just the free month if you've got iOS or you've got an Apple TV or whatever, just try it. It can't hurt. And the thing is,
nothing to lose with the free month of this.
No, nothing.
Except your time.
Nothing
Your
at all.
time will disappear.
And the Mac version will be here when Catalina launches, whenever that is. So you also have that beta, so you probably could play it now. I don't know.
Which one? Catalina?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't played anything. I haven't pulled it up on Catalina, but I do. Oh, I wonder if I've got access to this on Apple TV yet, or if that comes later.
Well, even if you don't have it natively, like download and play on there, you can AirPlay it from your phone, and that'll work. So there's ways around it. Anyway, it's cool. I like it. Thumbs up for me so far. We'll check back in a couple of months and go, all right, how are we doing now? How you doing now, Apple? Let's see how you're doing now, and if they're still doing
and
well.
Just I'm sure if you follow both of our Twitters, then you'll see recommendations when we find something new that we like. I do have one really quick. I'm just going to mention it.
Yeah.
Speaking of match threes, Wildscapes. I've been playing that as well, and it's a match 3 where you build a zoo.
Oh.
It's by that Playrix company that did that really cool one where you've got to, you got to go build houses, then you go collect the taxes from those houses and complete a level and da da da.
Yeah.
They do a match 3 that you complete match 3 games to build a zoo, and it's kind of fun.
And you like it? I mean, that's not an arcade. That's just a regular game.
It's not on Apple Arcade. It's just regular, and it is stupid, and it's match 3, and it's. I haven't gotten bugged for freemium stuff on there, but it does do that. Oh no, you've died 5 times. You've got to wait 20 minutes for another life, but it doesn't say or for 99 cents.
Recharging sucks. It's completely arbitrary. It's the worst kind of.
It totally is. It is just basically their way of saying, we decided we can pay for this carrot.
Yeah. I mean, and hats off to people who have been innovative about that and made their millions, I guess. But you kind of ruined the pond. It's like you just shit all over the pond so that these other things couldn't thrive. So what I hope this service does is create an environment where they will thrive, because it clearly wasn't going to happen.
Developers can get paid.
Yeah.
Because that is the other thing. I mean, we do want developers to get paid. We're not monsters.
Right, but these $3 games that would come out, no one ever hears of them. They get buried right away. They just disappear, and they weren't making money anyway. So now they finally, if they really want to go for this and they meet the standards, whatever those are, they can make money. Oh, I think it's good. It's good for everybody. And of course, Apple's taking their big bite. That's happening.
Of course. Let them take their bite.
Everybody got to make money. All right. That's the end of that. How about this?
And you can always follow.
Dang it. Here.
And you can always follow me on Twitter.
There we go. Hey, we haven't done this in a while either, where we answer your Twitter questions.
If we haven't said it before, Dan is out doing a hockey thing.
Yeah, he's doing hockey stuff with his kids.
Dan.
Yep. Some kind of coachy something. I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah. He's yelling at some 5-year-old because he didn't stop the puck.
Yeah. Get the puck, you little shit, he says. Use TMSPM as your hashtag. Or sorry, ask TMSPM as your hashtag, and we'll answer them right here. For example, here's one from Peter Fisher. That guy's always Johnny on the spot.
He's always first, yeah.
It says 10 years since my dad died, and the colorful people of the internet organizes a raid to a place they shouldn't go. Question: what way of running should you use that's faster than the Naruto run? So have you seen these things today already? There are people down there already doing Naruto runs on video. Like it's happening.
At Area 51.
Yeah. Like what else would you do? What other run would you do if you went?
I would do the Phoebe run.
I love the Phoebe run. The Phoebe run in the Carter. What's Tina's boyfriend on Bob's Burgers? What's his name? Jimmy Jr.'s run. The way he ran that marathon. You know what I'm talking about? You didn't see that episode? Oh, Carter. All right, we're gonna fix that this weekend.
Wow, yeah.
It's really funny.
Yeah, I would say the Phoebe run is the way that I would do the run.
Probably the most known too. I think you got a good one.
I think so. Yeah, exactly.
Paul Macius says, "Have either of you been tempted to buy a motorcycle at any time?" No, I have not.
No, but I wouldn't mind one of those. Wouldn't mind one of those Vespas. I feel like I'm a Vespa guy in a motorcycle world.
I do too. I would do that. I'd do a little Vespa or a little electric or something. I would do that.
Yeah,
fact,
totally.
Maybe I will because I don't really drive a car as much as I used to. We sold mine, so maybe a little Vespa electric or something. Just
There
get
you
around
go.
town, go grab a
man,
burger.
What's that?
Just go grab a burger with it, you know?
Go grab a burger on your Vespa.
Yeah. Yeah. Why not?
What would you have to wear? Like a not a scarf, but a like where you take kind of a handkerchief and it's a little shorter, like around your neck.
Yeah. Like
You
a
know,
little Italian guy.
A little Italian guy is basically what I'm getting at.
Yeah, I'll do that. I have no problem. They're not chaps. So the chat room says they're chaps. No,
Chaps.
they're not chaps.
No, not chaps. Not gonna be wearing assless chaps on the Vespa.
No, nobody wants to sit on your Vespa if you do that.
No.
it called?
Well, that's a good way of making sure that it's
Is it an
it's your
ascot?
Vespa
It's
and
not
only
an,
your Vespa.
it's not an ascot.
Not
is
an
it?
ascot. Ascot is just the kerchief that sits between the front part of your collar. It's the neckerchief. That's it. J.K. Grammer's got it.
Oh, a neckerchief.
A
Oh,
neckerchief.
like like a Boy Scout wears, but kind of the other way around, right?
Is that really? It's called a neckerchief.
Yeah, neckerchief, chief.
Neckerchief.
But
Handkerchief.
when we were in
neckerchief.
Scouts, they called it that. Bring your neckerchiefs so we can put those on
Yeah.
the deal, and yeah.
Worn by flight attendants everywhere.
All right. Here's another question. Here we go. What happened to TMS 1764? I can't find it on the feed on the site. Interesting.
Whenever speaking of that episode.
I wish it was something like that because then I have an excuse. Let me go see if I can find
Yeah.
it. All right. 1764, you say?
Yeah, that's the one where we talked about the family that had the dolls that you could have made after their newborn baby, like you could get a fake doll made after
Oh, right.
this people's baby,
Right. Well, then why don't I have it on the feed?
and fake guacamole made with squash.
I know this.
The guy
is
in
up.
court who's in court for stealing, and he steals his attorney's cell phone.
Yeah, that's the one. Wait a minute.
that's the
What was
one.
it? 1764. All right.
1764, and it was like a day before, maybe even been, it was the day before I left for Vegas, and maybe there was something about me running out to go to Vegas that made that episode disappear.
It really shouldn't have, though. Now I can't find it anywhere. No, I'm starting to feel conspiratorial about it. All right, let me try one more idea here. Let's try.
Okay.
Let's try. I mean, I use SoundCloud. Let me look at SoundCloud. 1764. This is the conundrum of
Will
all.
you still need it? Download it on the feed it. 1764.
All right, I'm looking. Oh my gosh, did I not put that show up? Or did I just skip a number? That's possible.
It's probably the case that you skipped a number.
Because I would never skip an episode.
No.
I have no record of. Let's see, TMS 1764. Yeah, I think I just screwed up and skipped it. So the 1765 is the episode you think you're missing, but you're not. It's just there.
Right, because I think we were going to do an episode that day before I left for Vegas, and we ran out of time and just said, that's all right, have a good time.
And I think I left the number in the spreadsheet,
Yeah.
which means the next time I used it, I skipped over it, did the next number in line, even though we never did the one previous. That's
I
totally
would believe
it.
that that's the case.
That's
yeah.
totally it. Brian knows it. That's it.
Yep.
All right. Well, then worry not. There was no episode. There is no missing episode.
Customer 8 says, are we in that Star Trek bubble where things slowly start to disappear? Dr. Crusher, we've never needed an episode 1764.
And she turns around. She goes, "What do you mean, Captain?" And then he's not there anymore. And now it's just,
Right, exactly.
where's
Yes.
Captain Picard? And the computer says, there is no Captain Picard.
The bubble would only constrict when Dr. Crusher was turned the other way.
Yep,
Like, there
yep.
was never a time she was looking at somebody and they just faded away. It was always like, well, okay, let me see. Let me grab my... Well, where did you go?
And she would turn around and go,
No.
wrong episode, but yeah.
I just watched the episode where they're all sleep deprived because they're not getting REM sleep.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Because there's a rift that they're stuck on the other side of. And
Didn't they find another ship where everyone killed each other
They
because they
did.
got no sleep?
yes.
Yeah.
Yep, that's exactly right. And then there was an alien ship on the other side that was communicating with Deanna Troi. She was the only one who could get dream sleep, but she was having these nightmares because the voice on the other side was saying, 2 moons, one wrapped around the other. And all she can do is go, where are you? I want to find you.
That's a bad
Where
episode.
are you?
I don't think that's good. I think that's bad, isn't it?
It's so bad.
It's pretty bad.
Totally. Yeah, J.K. Kramer says they made Troy's butt look huge. And they totally did, because I think that's where they put the harness that she was floating in space,
Yep.
having these nightmares. Like,
It's a really bad episode. Is that
Oh,
a
it's
late?
so
is that a
bad,
late
yeah.
like the 7th season, or when is that?
fourth season,
really?
season 4. It was
Jeez.
right in the middle of a bunch of good ones, like when Geordie's Dr. What's her face.
Oh, where
That,
she's a hologram until she comes for real, and then
Right, and she shows up for real, and then she goes in and sees Geordie's hologram.
yeah,
Dr. Brahms, that's right, yes.
yeah, and it was the whole ethical question of if you're getting it on with the hologram, are you
Right.
Is that violating the person the hologram's based on? That whole thing, right?
Exactly.
That
yeah.
today that'd be like if you bought one of those realistic sex dolls from Japan and then put your girlfriend's head on it, and then
Right.
but she didn't want anything to do with you anymore. Like, that's the ethical question. Star Trek was good at
Exactly.
those. They liked asking those things, right?
Exactly. Well, I mean, yeah, and in the days of now with VR, could you make an Oculus game where you're pointing it up with your ex-girlfriend based on taking her, the photo you took of her while she was sleeping, putting it on a, on a 3-dimensional model?
I mean, in theory, yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. By the way, here's this. This is for that tweeter, because we don't know where that episode is.
Right,
I think it's just not.
1764.
It just never got made.
I want to believe that episode 1764 exists.
All right, how about this one from Jesse? Suddenly your day-to-day life is being filmed in front of a live studio audience. Do you think it would land a pilot? No way.
No, for sure.
Boring.
That would be the most boring. Yeah.
Yeah, boring. Nobody wants our lives.
Jesse is a friend, but he sent us in a bad Twitter question.
Because look, I actually am of the opinion that there's no such thing as anyone that would work for. The only reason reality shows work for the Kardashians and other people is because of other forms of fame that push them there in the first place.
Right,
And then you
right.
throw in the money and you throw in the crazy editing. There's no just turn the camera
Right,
on and
and-
that's interesting. Never.
And sadly we have jobs, and unfortunately the reality shows like that work better for people who don't have jobs, like I would say a 2005 sitcom based on what Jury's life was probably like at that time would be entertaining. That would probably be
Yeah.
in the circle.
Yeah.
That'd probably be the only one of ours that I'd consider watching.
I got beef with Jury right now. There's a little bit of beef going on. You want to hear about it?
Oh really?
Yeah,
Tell me
yeah.
about the beef.
He thinks-
Where's the beef?
He thinks that that both Pulp Fiction and Forrest Gump are better than the movie that year that should have won everything, which is Shawshank Redemption. He thinks those movies. Now, I could see somebody arguing hard for Pulp Fiction given its impact,
He's
given
a
its
huge
influence.
Pulp Fiction
Right,
fan.
right.
Yes.
I could see that, but he is somehow saying that movie's just no good at all, and every other movie that year was better than Shawshank Redemption, and I think he is
What?
insane.
So it's not just a matter of loving Forrest and fiction.
Yeah.
He hates Shawshank.
It's not only that. It's at the. But he went on this Twitter tirade about how it's pretty much at the bottom of his best Stephen King adaptations list. He even thinks it's one of the worst of those. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. He is either trolling us, or he's insane. I don't know which it is.
I think he's trolling. TVZ Gun says that he also admitted on the show that he was shitting on Shawshank to mess with fans. So,
no, there you go. He got it. He did it.
Yes.
The jury will now retire.
Thanks to Audible for supporting the.
Excellent.
That's weird. Started playing an old instance thing. Let me try that again.
The jury will now retire.
There. That's all it was supposed to play.
Cool. Good.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, go away. All right. It's not real beef, but it's funny to talk about.
No, it's impossible beef.
Final question here. Do you floss before or after brushing your teeth, says Mrs. Taffy Guy.
I floss after.
I floss after, but I have been known to brush my teeth, floss, and then brush again because I like that feeling of just like almost like dental level clean.
Yeah, you're brushing away the things that that you just got out of your teeth.
Right. And it's also just like a second run, and I'll do that before I go to the dentist, for example, because I want to get I want to be as clean as I want her scraping as little as possible. So I'll just give it the old double job and get in there.
I keep a bag of these here at my desk. The Scope Outlasts.
Oh yeah. Well, how do you like those? Those good?
I like these a lot because just, while I'm sitting at my desk, instead of popping in a stick of gum or a atomic fireball, I'll just, fiddle around with one of these guys.
Oh, I have those. Yeah, those are cool. They work pretty well. I get the part where the floss on it gets stuck in a particular tooth of mine, though, so I can't use it there. But
that was the problem that I had to go in and have that tooth fixed because it turned out to be the broken.
Oh shit! Don't tell me.
The broken tooth situation. Yeah.
Don't tell me that. Maybe I have a broken thing. Maybe it's broken.
Oh, maybe, Scott. You'll know. They'll tell you the next time you go in for a cleaning. They'll say, "Oh, you got a broken tooth here."
Mm-hmm. And I'll say,
"Can you smell it?"
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, you probably know. You probably would have said something if this happened, but you haven't gotten a new box from Mary Heidenberg, have you?
I have not yet. Do you know when it was sent?
I don't, but mine arrived today, so yours will probably be next couple days. But we got some new Oreos, Scott.
That sounds good. And you don't. You
Speaking
probably
of dental work.
You don't want to leak what flavor, do you? Or no?
I could.
Okay.
You want me to tell you?
Give us a hint. Yeah. What do we got?
One of them is S'moreos. We got some S'moreos, which I think is a returning flavor.
Yeah, I think so.
There is maple cream and mint chocolate chip.
Wow.
Yes.
Maple cream mint chocolate chip.
I've got cops.
Great. So I will look forward to those. Those sound good.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, Mary Heidenberg, and thank you all those who use the TMSPM hashtag. Use it all week or on Fridays. That's when we do this, and we are glad to be back to doing some of those. That's Ask TMSPM. And thanks for your support of this Patreon we have, because if you didn't, we wouldn't have this fifth episode a week. So go check that out if you haven't. Patreon.com/TMS. And if you're looking for everything else connected to us, it's at frogpants.com/TMS. We're going to leave now with Brian and a song and probably a request. I don't know. What do you got over there?
It is. It's a request that made me push September, the song that talks about the 21st night of September, to yesterday. This is the one that I had to play today because September 20th is Ben Newbold's wife's birthday. And he says, I wanted to have a song played in her honor on the show. She may have started out in the I can definitely see why you like it crowd, but after dragging her to Nerdtaculars in TMS Vegas and getting to meet so many awesome tadpoolers, I think she's starting to come around. To celebrate, can you play one of our favorite songs that also happens to be her age? A cover of 39 by Queen. Oh man, I hope you asked her before you made us say her age on the air.
Yeah.
A cover of 39 by Queen would be great. I know you played one on the show a little bit ago, but I'm hoping there's another one in the vast Coverville library. Can I get a classic Veronica sausage?
Oh, of course you can. Hold on. I think I still have. You want the long one or the short one?
Oh, the long one, of course.
All right. Here you go.
Sausage.
It still works, doesn't it? Still makes you think it's longer than it should be.
It totally makes me think it's longer. Every single time. It feels like that's got to be stretching out.
Yeah. For the record, here's the short one. Whoops. Wrong one. This one.
Sausage.
There you go.
Sausage.
1 second stretched out to 5. I mean, that thing goes on for miles. Just goes and goes and goes. This other guy's great. I'm going to play this guy that I almost played. Hold on. There you go. It's some famous.
Well, right.
It's some famous Canadian guy who's got some handicap stuff going on, but he's really popular and does a lot of YouTube things, and he's really sweet, but he just likes to yell on his TikToks. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead. Do your thing. Music time.
No, that's all right. That's all right. All right. So this is going out to Ben and his wife. Happy birthday to Ben's wife. I don't think he says her name, so that's all right. But we do know that she's 39. We know that she likes that song that was performed by Queen. But come on, let's face it. It's a Brian May song because it talks about leaving the Earth in a spaceship, and time goes faster for the people on Earth, and the person comes back, and all the people he loved have either aged and died or are just old. Anyway, it's a great song. The version I played before, it's my favorite version of the song. I did find another version that I kind of like, and it feels kind of appropriate, I don't know, for Talk Like a Pirate Day, the day after Talk Like a Pirate Day. Mm-hmm. This is an Irish band called the Porters, and it's from a 2012 album called Rum, Bum, and Violina. It reminds me a lot of the Pogues. So if you wanted to hear what it would sound like if the Pogues covered Queen, it probably would sound a little bit like this. Here are the Porters and 39.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com.
It was, after all, they or us.
Oh, okay.
They or
us. Hey, Brian, let me ask you this question.
Yes.
Is it 6 plus 7 equals 12, or 6 plus 7 6 and 7 are 12, or 6 and 7 is 12?
It's 6 and 7 is 13, Scott. Nice try.
I tried to get him, and I couldn't get him.
Now.
I can't get the lord of pub crawl trivia.
Exactly. I mean, puzzling. Yeah. Oh, I was going to talk about that. Tomorrow we're doing this big 6 to 8 hour Amazing Race puzzle thing. I guess I'll